You ever notice how people these days don't really want the truth anymore? They just want something that looks like the truth. They want it in a shiny bottle with a soft focus label and preferably a slogan that makes them feel smart for believing it. That's society now. The big polished lie. We used to polish our shoes, now we polish our bullshit. We shine it up, spray it with perfume, and call it a progress. Somewhere along the way, we decided that honesty doesn't sell, but packaging does. Take television commercials, every single one is just a lie with lighting. You see some guy brushing his teeth and suddenly he's running a marathon, winning a Nobel Prize and getting the girl. All because of toothpaste. Toothpaste. I've been brushing for years and the only thing I've ever won is gingivitis. But it's not about clean teeth, it's about clean illusion. They want you to feel like your mouth is saving the world. Because the real product isn't toothpaste, it's the fantasy of being someone who gives a damn about toothpaste. That's what people buy now. The image of caring. You ever walk into a store and see the eco-friendly aisle? Rows of plastic bottles proudly screaming as save the planet. Yeah, save the planet by making more plastic. It's the same logic as setting your house on fire to keep warm. Everything's got a logo, label, and a little green leaf somewhere on it. They slap on words like organic, a natural, and is sustainable, because those words don't mean anything anymore. They're just polite lies we use to feel morally superior while we destroy everything a little slower. Even the word "a natural" got hijacked. It used to mean something like from nature. Now it means we added color number 5 instead of number 6. You see a natural flavor on a label and think, oh good, straight from Mother Earth. No, straight from a lab in New Jersey, with a guy in a white coat and a minor god complex. The only natural thing about it is your gullibility. And it's not just products, it's people. People are packaging themselves now. You've got resumes, profiles, image consultants, all designed to help you look more authentic. You need a coach to help you look real. The moment you have to schedule authenticity, you're done. Folks don't even live lives anymore. They run advertising campaigns. You ask someone how they're doing, and they give you their personal slogan. Living my best life. No, you're not. You're barely living your real life. We've become so addicted to image that we treat reality like it's optional. Everyone's got their public version and their actual version. And we make damn sure the public version looks good. We iron it, polish it, run it through filters, and pretend that's who we are. The truth is hidden somewhere in the laundry, covered in coffee stains and unpaid bills. But no one wants to see that. We want the glossy brochure version. You ever notice the news works the same way? The news doesn't tell you what's happening. They tell you what it looks like is happening. The graphics spin, the theme music swells, and there's a guy with perfect hair telling you that the world's on fire, but with enthusiasm. They give disasters nicknames and logos, like hurricanes were game shows. Tonight on Disaster Watch 2007, they turn misery into primetime entertainment, then cut to a commercial for antidepressants. It's the same network selling you both the problem and the solution. Now that's efficiency. And the audience eats it up because we're trained to prefer style over substance. We want our lives comfortable, like a soft couch. The truth is uncomfortable. It makes you think, it makes you question. Lies just let you nod and keep scrolling. That's why every politician looks like a salesman at a used car lot. They've got smiles so fake they should squeak when they open their mouths. They promise everything. Hope change, unity, lower prices, free ice cream on Thursdays. And we believe it, not because we trust them, but because they look trustworthy. We vote for faces, not facts. Politics is the ultimate performance art. They stand there in perfectly tailored suits, waving to people they wouldn't share an elevator with. You could put a talking refrigerator on stage, and if it said a God Bless America with a tear in its freezer door, half the country would vote for it. Because that's what people want now. Symbols, not sense. Even religion got into the packaging business. Once upon a time, faith was about humility and mystery. Now it's about branding and merchandise. You've got designer Bibles, glow-in-the-dark rosaries, and televangelists selling a miracle water for $49.95 plus shipping. Spirituality's got a logo now, a theme song, and a mailing list. People want salvation. but they want it to look good on a coffee mug. And education, oh, don't even start. The schools are supposed to teach kids how to think, but instead they teach them how to perform. Everything's about appearances, grades, awards, participation ribbons for showing up. We tell kids, be yourself, then grade them on how well they copy everyone else. The education system is just another factory making polished little lies called graduates. You get a degree that says you're smart, not proof that you actually learned anything. Then you hang it on the wall to prove you're legitimate, like a hunting trophy from the jungle of conformity. The workplace is even better. Companies now have value statements printed on glossy posters with pictures of people skydiving or shaking hands. Integrity, teamwork, innovation. All while they're laying off half the staff and moving production to the cheapest bidder. But as long as the break room has motivational posters, people feel like they're part of something noble. They don't realize they're part of something profitable. There's a difference. Even our apologies have become performance pieces. Nobody just says, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." No, it's got to be a carefully crafted statement approved by 3 lawyers and a PR team. "I'm sorry if anyone was offended." That's not an apology. That's a polite middle finger wrapped in empathy paper. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry someone noticed. We've replaced sincerity with strategy. Everything's calculated for optics. You can't even donate to charity without a hashtag anymore. People don't give because it's right. They give because it looks right. We've turned kindness into a marketing campaign. Oh, look at me. I'm helping. Yeah, we see you, Mother Teresa with a selfie stick. Even relationships aren't safe from the polish. Couples used to have problems, fights, misunderstandings. Now they have photo opportunities. You see them online holding hands on vacation, smiling at sunsets. 2 minutes later, they're arguing over who forgot to pack the charger. But you won't see that part. You'll see the filtered version. Because love apparently only exists in good lighting and the language. The language has been scrubbed so clean it squeaks. Nobody dies anymore. They pass away. Poor people aren't poor. They're economically disadvantaged. Lies aren't lies. They're alternative narratives. We've turned plain speech into a linguistic beauty contest. Everything's been washed, rinsed, and softened to avoid offense. The truth might hurt feelings, and God forbid we bruise anyone's ego. You can't call a thief anymore. You have to say he's ethically flexible. We're living in a world where everyone's pretending, and we all know it. But we keep pretending not to know. It's like a giant masquerade ball, and the masks are glued on. You don't even take yours off in the shower anymore. You might not recognize yourself. We spend so much time curating our identities that we forget to have one. People don't live, they display. Remember when folks used to fix things when they broke? Now they replace them, including people. You break a friendship, block it, break a marriage, swipe again. We treat life like a catalog. You just flip the page when something gets inconvenient. Real connections take effort, and effort doesn't photograph well. The world doesn't want depth, it wants decoration. Even food got fancy. It's not enough to eat anymore. You have to document the meal like it's an archaeological discovery. People take 10 pictures before the first bite, then complain the food got cold, and the restaurants play along. You ever get a dish that looks like a museum exhibit? 3 peas and a drizzle of sauce arranged with tweezers by a guy named Chef Schuyler. They call it a modern cuisine. I call it starvation with a garnish. But it looks good on a plate, and that's what matters. Meanwhile, the real world crumbles behind the curtain of presentation. The streets are dirty, the air is thick, the systems are broken. But don't worry, we've got apps to distract you from noticing. As long as the illusion's shiny, no one asks who's polishing it or what's being hidden underneath. The lie isn't the problem anymore, the lie is the product. And we buy it willingly because truth is bad for business. You know what's funny? People say you can't handle the truth. No, they can handle it, they just don't want it. The truth doesn't match the Daker. It's messy, uncomfortable, and it doesn't fit in a 30-second 80s spot. Lays, though, they come with theme music and a coupon. So we keep playing along, pretending the Emperor's new clothes are fabulous. even though everyone can see his ass hanging out. And if you point it out, you're the problem. You're a negative. You're a toxic. We've confused honesty with a... The only acceptable opinions are the ones that come pre-approved with a smiley face. You can be fake all you want. Just don't be real in public. We've turned the whole world into a giant commercial and everyone's a product. You've got your personal brand, your image strategy, your market value. You're not a person, you're a pitch. And if you stop performing, people stop listening. Because that's what society taught us. Attention is currency and authenticity doesn't pay. And yet under all that polish, people are more anxious, more lonely, and more confused than ever. You can shine a lie as much as you want, but it still doesn't fill the hole. The polish wears off, the mask slips, and suddenly you realize you don't even know what's underneath. You've been pretending so long you forgot what it felt like to just be. That's the real tragedy of it all. We traded meaning for marketing. We used to look for truth in conversation, art, experience. Now we look for it in brand endorsements and catchphrases. The world became one big commercial break, and the only thing we learned is how to sell ourselves back to ourselves. Maybe one day the polish will wear thin enough for people to see what's under it. Maybe we'll remember that the truth doesn't need a logo, a slogan, or a publicist. It just needs someone brave enough to say it, even if it doesn't sound nice. Until then, we'll keep buffing our illusions and pretending the reflection is real. Because that's what society does best. It doesn't fix problems, it polishes them. And when the shine finally fades, all that's left is the same old dirt waiting for the next coat of lies to cover it again. You ever notice how everybody's full of good intentions these days? Everybody's got a cause, a slogan, a mission statement. Nobody wants to do anything, but everybody wants to stand for something. Because standing is easier than moving. That's the trick. People figured out you don't actually need to act, you just need to announce. That's why every other person's walking around like a public service announcement with legs. I support this. I'm raising awareness for that. Congratulations, you raised awareness. What's next? Maybe you could raise a hammer and actually build something. But no, raising awareness is the new national sport. It's perfect. It looks noble, it feels moral, and it requires absolutely no effort. You just post a slogan, wear a ribbon, and you're done. Hero of the week. People walk around like, I'm against hunger. Really? You cracked the code. What a revolutionary stance. Who's for hunger? Who's out there waving banners that say, let's keep them starving? But you can't tell people that. They'll call you insensitive. Because we live in a world where talking about fixing things is more important than actually fixing them. The world has become one big group therapy session. Everyone's sharing their feelings, making statements, holding conferences. No one's changing a damn thing. It's all smoke signals of sincerity. Do we care? If stand united. Our thoughts are with you. Thoughts, the cheapest currency there is. Our thoughts and prayers. The great refund policy for human responsibility. You can't fix anything with a thought, but you can sure look like you care. That's what matters now. The appearance of caring. You can see it everywhere. People have become experts at the performance of virtue. You don't need to be good. You just need to look good while pretending. They call it being socially conscious. I call it being cosmetically moral. We're a generation of people who think compassion comes in convenient packaging, pre-washed, fragrance-free, cruelty-free, and definitely selfie-compatible. You ever notice those charity events where celebrities show up to help the poor? Yeah, help them by walking down a red carpet wearing jewelry worth more than the GDP of a small country. Well, we're here tonight to support the hungry. Well, maybe you could start by eating a little less yourself, sweetheart. And the audience applauds, takes photos, and goes home feeling warm inside. Nothing changed, but everyone looked compassionate. That's what counts. And it's not just the rich. It's everyone. We've all joined the cult of good intentions. You don't even need to know what you're supporting anymore. People will join any cause as long as the logo looks cool. They'll wear a bracelet, share a hashtag, and move on before the next coffee break. We've turned morality into a fashion trend. Now this season, empathy is in. Remember when doing good used to mean actually doing something, like volunteering, helping someone, sacrificing time or money. Now it's all digital. Click share, post done. You can solve global problems without leaving your chair. World hunger? Retweet it. Poverty? Share a meme. Oppression? Upload a filter. You can fix the whole planet before breakfast and still have time for yoga. We've created the illusion of participation without the burden of action. It's activism for people who don't like getting their hands dirty. We're drowning in slogans. Every group, every movement, every company's got one. Just do it, think different, save the planet, and people believe it. They think wearing a slogan is the same as living by it. It's not. Wearing a t-shirt that says a pizza doesn't make you Gandhi, it makes you a mannequin. But nobody cares because it looks right. And that's the only morality that matters now. The visual kind. Even governments love this game. You notice how every big problem gets a catchy name in a committee? A task force, initiative, a national awareness week. They'll make posters, run ads, hold press conferences, and nothing ever changes. But the language sounds so noble. We're committed to change. Committed, that's a great word. It sounds serious, but it doesn't mean anything. It's the word people use when they plan to do nothing but want credit for thinking about it. Oh, we're committed to finding solutions. Well, I'm committed to losing weight, but this cheeseburger keeps interrupting me. The system figured out something brilliant. If you feed people enough hopeful language, they'll stop demanding results. You just tell them, we're working on it. They'll go back to watching sitcoms. People don't want justice. They want the feeling of progress, and that's what they're sold. The feeling. Progress is just another brand now. They don't fix problems, they repackage them with better lighting. The funniest part? The same people who talk the loudest about change are the ones least willing to change themselves. Everybody's an activist until it's inconvenient. You'll see people screaming about pollution online on a brand new smartphone made from rare metals mined by kids. But that's okay because they used an eco-friendly hashtag. People talk about equality while hiring cheap labor. They talk about freedom while locking their doors. Hypocrisy's not just accepted anymore, it's a feature. As long as you mean well, you're off the hook. We've created a moral economy based on intentions instead of